If we're all aware of the election that just passed by this November, then we all would have seen everything that was happening during the debates and during the day of the election. Now, everybody's coming out the woodwork saying that Trump is the better president, Kamala is the better president, but who is? Who is the better president? And in this video, I'm gonna be saying the things, my opinion on this year's election. And just so you guys know, I have to make this a disclaimer because a lot of people might say some crazy stuff. I'm only 14 years old and I'm already knowing more about the election and how this presidency works than the rest of these 20, 30, 40, and 50 years olds out here in the US today. So with that being said, let's get into one of the topics of today's video. What benefited them in the running for president? Now, I'm gonna start off with Kamala Harris. The things that was helping her in the run, because there's a lot of females out here today that want to have control over their body, control over what they do, what they say, what they eat, how they impregnate themselves, or when to get pregnant, or when to have a baby and when not. And Kamala Harris was in support of women deciding on when they should have abortions and when not, and making abortions legal in all the states. That was her goal, if I'm not mistaken. And Trump, on the other hand, was saying as if there shouldn't be no abortions or anything because that would be killing the kids and everything, and killing just like a regular human being, and you would go to jail for having an abortion, no matter if it was just if it was the R word or if it was the insect word, if you know what I mean. So with that being said, most of the people, or I would say 65% of the people that was voting for Kamala Harris that was one of their main targets on the reason that was voting for her. Not because she was a woman, or that was one of the reasons too, because they wanted to see a woman in office. 90% of those people were women that were voting for Kamala Harris to be in office. Now, also, after I was saying that 65% of the people that was voting for her because they wanted to have control over their own body and their rights. So that's one of the main reasons why people were voting for Kamala Harris. Now, let's move on to Donald Trump. Another thing that everybody keeps saying that Donald Trump is going to do is he's going to lower taxes. He's going to make, he's going to build the wall back up. He's going to deport everybody that's not supposed to be here in America. And if we're being honest, me and you watching this video, we already know who's the actual people that really cares about the deportations and everything, and building the walls and all of that. I'm not going to go into too much details because, hey, still keeping the video clean and good. But if we're being honest, half of the work that comes in this US, half of the people that builds it and that's working in the US are people from out of this country. Just like, for an example, in a Hispanic, probably the house or the apartment that you're living in right now was built by a Hispanic person. Now, if you don't believe me, 99.8% of the companies that build houses, apartments, and everything, guess who those workers are? They're Hispanic. So if all of them were gone, guess what? We wouldn't have no new houses, no anything like that. And let's be real, I'm just speaking on this off past experience. When it comes to Hispanic workers and American workers want more money for less work. That's just their motto. More money for less work, and Hispanic workers will do a lot of work beyond normal work for just a small amount of money. That's why I think when he was saying about the deportation and everything like that, that was just a sweet talk to get people to, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I want to vote for him because, oh, all the Hispanics are taking up all the jobs and everything. So that was him taking up, messing with the people's mind and getting them to think as if, oh yeah, that's another good reason on if why I should vote him. Now, let's get on the bads of what they were saying. Now, I'm gonna go back to Kamala Harris too, so let's start off with her. She was also saying that she would use our tax money to help with gender reassignment surgeries. Now, if you don't know what gender reassignment surgery is, I'm gonna give a brief little disclaimer right there what it is. That's what gender reassignment surgery is. And if you want to hear me sum it up, basically is when a a male with or let's say for an example, a male with XY chromosomes try and go to surgeries to look upon a female XX chromosomes. So that's basically in a nutshell what the gender transform. I don't want to be rude or anything because I don't know what you actually call it, but transgender surgeries or however the name is. I'm gonna find it up. Excuse me if I'm being rude or whatnot, but I genuinely do not know what's the actual name of it. But yeah, and that was deterring a lot of people from voting for her and she was also gonna allow biological males compete in female sports. Now, me personally, I wouldn't want a boy playing wrestling I'm not gonna say wrestling because that's a okay sport, but I wouldn't want a male competing in a track meet that the same track meet that my daughter runs in and wins first place, and my daughter comes in second place just because he's a male. You know what I mean? Now that's just my opinion, that's just my beliefs. To each his own. But also, with that being said, to the flaws of Donald Trump, let's see. Had to sit back. But there's a lot of things that he have come upon and that he has said that could have sounded so-ish. A lot of people, let me just nip it in the bud. A lot of people are saying that Donald Trump is racist. He's racist. He's doing all of these stuff. Once he wins, it's gonna go back to slavery and it's gonna do all of that stuff there. But me personally, I feel like half of the stuff that Donald Trump is doing is okay, and majority are just right about there. Half of the stuff is that's not okay. It's not acceptable. Like when it comes to him lowering billionaires' taxes and everything, me personally, that's not even going to be a problem for me because I know in the next 5 to 10 years I'm going to be a billionaire, and that will only benefit me. You know, and I know people would think of the middle class and think of the lower class and everything, and it's not a force for you to be unwealthy and unsuccessful. And this is me coming from, I didn't always come from wealth or anything like that. My family built it from when I've been here, because I've experienced the time of not being able to get whatever I want, when I want, and how I want it. I've experienced that. And I know that it's possible from any plate that you stand, you can become successful and wealthy. And that's why when he was saying all of that stuff about lowering billionaire taxes and everything, that's why it didn't affect me as much. I was like, okay, that's just giving me even a more reason to become a billionaire even quicker, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, when it comes from him with the women's right and dictating when and where they could get abortions, or if they could even get abortions or not, and Project 2025. Now, if you don't know what Project 2025 is, it's a list of the things that he will enact or he will play upon now that he's in office. Well, once he get in office, because if you didn't know, Trump, he did win the election. He did win the election 2025. Donald J. Trump will be our president. And that's whether or not you like it or I like it, it's going to happen. So, with that being said, now we know that Donald Trump did this, Kamala did this, Donald Trump did good by doing this, and then Kamala did good by doing it. Now, everybody's going to have their different opinions on the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, and saying the Republican Party is racist or the Democratic Party is too soft and everything. Everybody has their own opinion in every way. But that's why it leads me back to saying it's only up to you to see how you're going to go about all of these actions. Because it really wouldn't matter to me if it was a Republican or a Democrat that was in office. Either way, I was still going to get wealthy. And you want to know why that is? When you have money, when you generate wealth, all of that stuff, no matter who's in office, it always benefits you. It always benefits you. Now, do you think just because Kamala Harris would have won that she wouldn't pass any laws that could have benefited her or her successful buddies? No, it's just not like that. That's not how the world works. And if you're just too excuse this for saying it because it needs to be said. But if you're just too slow to understand that that's just not how the world works. The world is not all peaches and roses and rainbows and bubblegum. That's not it. Now, just one thing that I could say that I admire Trump by is he could do the most shadiest stuff ever. The man has how many felonies? I don't even know. But guess what? He still won the election, and you want to know why? Because he have a great influence as a leader. No matter how much I like him or not, it's just true. It's plain and simple. No matter what he do, he's still gonna have people following his lead because he's a great leader and he's using the law of attraction till its fullest. He can go out there and shoot somebody today, and guess what? He'll still be in that office come 2025. And that's just the truth. No matter how much we like it or not, it's just the truth. And that's why I'm applying the same thing. So I will be on that same level of success and wealth where I will have such much of an impact on the people around me and the people in all sorts of areas, in all areas of the world. And you want to know why? Because he's just using that stuff to his advantage. He's using it. That's why when he was younger, I know he probably didn't have daddy's money or he had this, that, and the third. But guess what? It came in handy for him. And guess what? All I'm doing is learning from both parties. Every time there's a new president, every time there's an old president that's get impeached or whatever, guess what? I still learn from either or, no matter if it's Democrat or Republican. Because no matter what happens, none of them are gonna make it to where billionaires make less money or millionaires can't get monies, or even when it comes with business owners. There's always going to be some type of law, some type of bill that's passed to help out those business owners. Even though they might say we're going to take money from the rich and give it to the poor, or we're going to do this, that, and the third. No, they're not going to do that. No matter what they do, it's going to always benefit the wealthy man. The man that's sitting up on his high chair like that, it's always going to benefit him. And guess what? I'm going to be up there. Now you can be up there too if you know what you're doing and if you use the game to your advantage and use everything to your surrounding as your advantage. Now that's all up to you. I know I will. And I'm damn sure about that one. Now, with that being said, hey, we have a new president now, whether we like it or don't. But y'all need to come and lock in and learn from it. It's a learning experience. And I'm not going to say whether my people voted for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, because that's just not my place to say. Now, y'all could probably leave y'all comments saying something, this, that, and the third, or here, this, that, and that. But guess what? I know what I'm talking about. And I stand 10 toes down confidently on what I speak. And now, with that being said, it's all love once again. YM Abe out, and y'all take care, man.